is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, everyone. Happy Thursday. You know, it's funny how just some habits are hard to break. It seems like that's the thing that I always say on Fridays. By the way, I was talking away from the mic. I mean, on Thursdays. Happy Thursday. Hey, I'm excited about tonight. I've been talking about this for weeks. I mean, at least weeks. So, here, guys, bear with me for just a second. I'm going to try to do one more thing here. I'm going to make sure. Can you guys hear me? Everyone can hear me. Just say yes. Somebody in the question box.
Give a 1, right?
Perfect. All right, guys. Yeah, there we go. Lots of yeses. Thanks, Tori. All right. Well, I see some new names too, by the way. Not like I've got everyone's name memorized, but I do talk to a lot of you guys, especially guys that have been with us for 5 years, I guess going into 6 years now. But you guys, I've been talking about these mobile apps and the Google changes for, I guess, a month and a half. And although it was something that you guys, especially those of you who are selling SEO, already know about, okay, I was familiar with this, there's a lot of others of you that do keep up with stuff, but didn't really hear about this or didn't know about it, or you just kind of glanced at it and it didn't resonate with you like it resonated with me. When I saw this, it was like, bing, 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 bing. I mean, there were so many little bells that went off in my head because at the very same time, we were finishing up with Leads Inbound, which a lot of you guys have. The ones that you don't worry about it. Give an opportunity at some point. But what Leads Inbound is a software program that goes out online and it looks for businesses lacking in a certain area and then does either a voicemail drop or an email or both. But one of the things that we could do was we could look for those businesses that didn't have a website. And I was like, yeah, but I mean, what's good is that? I mean, you know, what are people going to sell them websites? I am sure all these business owners, they know they need a website at some point, but what has happened is every time these guys went to go pull the trigger and buy a $2,500 website, they're like, been open for 10 years. I seem to be doing fine without it. And they go on their merry little way. Or, you know, they buy a program where they're going to build their own and then they just never do. So for whatever reason, there's a lot of businesses out there. And if you think about it, and if you're honest, and you got to set aside your salesperson's hat for a second, you know, there's a lot of brick and mortar businesses in whatever town that you're in that they really don't need a website. I mean, yeah, it's nice and it kind of works like a business card for some people. And yes, it would be great if they would do SEO and all these other things, but that's a whole different sophistication level for a high percentage of your general business owner. And really, that's who we all should be thinking about, because that's the mass of who we're talking to. You know, there's a certain percentage that does care. There's a certain percentage that gets, oh yeah, I do have a website. Wait, you're telling me, so if I do this, that, I can get found easier? Well, that's even greater. I mean, there's a certain percentage of businesses that think that way, but it's much smaller than the guy or woman who owns a business, and they're just week to week, they're just keeping the doors open. They're worried about payroll. Every once in a while, they do something crazy like invest $1,000 into an AM radio ad, or $1,500 into some print ad. These are people that are not typically doing advertising, not typically doing that stuff. So a website, it's a hard sell for them. I mean, they're getting business some other way. And again, I'm talking, I can't think of a good example. Maybe just like Joe's mechanic or Joe's local tire store, and it's in a small town where everyone knows Joe. The reality of it is that the app program, and Keith's going to talk about all this, and I don't want to get into it too much because I want to let him be able to explain all the details and all the stuff. But this is something they will be interested in. And I just love it when it connects to something that we just released to you guys, is the leads inbound. I mean, now you can actually find the businesses that don't have a website, and we've got something to sell them that's logical, something that they're going to be interested in, rather than trying to, hey, you don't have a website. Here's what you need, a website. Yeah, you think nobody's called them for that? A ton of people have. So at any rate, I'm very, very excited about that. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about what, why is it more important now than ever? This has been out for a while. This is nothing super new. But how come in the last 10 months, it's been really important? It's been things more and more people are talking about. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit here tonight. And more important, ultimately, we're going to talk about the mobile app program that Keith is going to be bringing to you. You guys, this is the thing I was talking about. When I told you a month and a half ago, don't go get any program. I know you're going to want to go get some kind of app building program if you have leads inbound, because yeah, it makes sense. And I said, you guys just hold off, because I want to negotiate a really good price. I've got a whole bunch of you guys, so I've got a lot of, negotiating power when I go to somebody that owns a company. And I talked to several different people. A lot of the software programs I looked at, I didn't care what the price was. They were complicated, and you guys know me. If it's complicated, never mind, because it doesn't matter what it can do or will do or whatever. If you can't figure it out, well then, who cares? So it had to be very, very easy. I was really concerned about the training. I wanted training to be great. And then, yeah, I was price sensitive. I said, let's see how low we can get. Most of the people were telling me $147 a month, all these really high prices, but y'all are going to be really excited about the opportunity that you do get it, for those of you who do want to try it out. But more important than that is at least knowing what it is, knowing that it exists, and then seeing that you've got a sales opportunity in there that maybe you hadn't thought of. And the timing on that is very, very important too. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more tonight. The holiday sale has always eluded me. Like, I've just never been in that business where I was selling something that was like really hot during the holidays. Usually it's the opposite. It was something that, yeah, I'll put it off till the first of the year. Well, with this, and again, I'm being premature with all this, this is an impulse buy for a lot of people, which is very, very exciting. All right, so that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Keith. And by the way, you guys, and Keith, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and so forth, but for you guys in our YST group, Keith is the leader of that group. He's the person that has been assisting you guys, and there's a reason for that. I mean, there was a lot of synergy between the two of us, and which is why this is all coming together and all working so well. So I'm excited to be able to work with Keith, but also to be able to present something like this to you guys, because I promise you, you would not get this anywhere else other than if you were in our group, and that makes me proud that we could do that. So Keith, you have the floor.
All right. Well, hello everybody. It's a pleasure to be here to be with Mercer's people and to present to you some cool stuff, some fun stories, anecdotal things, and just talk about shop. So just to make sure that everyone can see the screen that I am showing, if everyone could maybe just put a 1 in the box to make sure that you can see that, that would be great. Yeah, okay, I got some 1s. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, so mobile first indexing. And let me just recap this, because, this is kind of the impetus for why a lot of you signed up for this, to understand how this relates to mobile apps, and more importantly, progressive web apps, which I also like to title progressive websites, depending on the business that I'm talking to. So in talking about mobile first indexing, so Google announced that, and this was in March, all right, I'm going to read from them. In March of this year, after a year and a half of careful experimentation and testing, we've started migrating sites that follow the best practices for mobile-first indexing. To recap, our crawling, indexing, and ranking systems have typically used the desktop version of a page's content, which may cause issues for mobile searchers when that version is vastly different from the mobile version. Mobile-first indexing means that we'll use the mobile version of the page for indexing and ranking. That's huge, guys. That is huge. To better help our primary mobile users find what they're looking for. Now, several years ago, they being, you know, the talking heads of the mobile industry and the internet and all of that, really pushed and said how vastly important it was for any business to have a responsive website. And the reason for that was because the overwhelming majority of people now visit websites on mobile devices. And without a responsive website, you can't see the whole page. You have to use your finger to go over to see to keep reading the text, and it doesn't fit. But making it responsive made it automatically scale to any mobile device. However, now we're seeing numbers as high as, depending on what polls you look at, and polls vary by what company you're looking at, that anywhere as high as over 70% of website traffic is now coming directly from mobile devices. I find that very easy to believe. The majority of people all have smartphones, and this is global, right? This is global. This isn't just, you know, to westernized civilization. This is global.
And by the way, Keith,
yes,
if you mind, I know this will be the only time I interrupt, by the way, but
get in.
I was going to talk about some of this anyway, but you guys, and I'll let him talk about some of the technical stuff. And I actually told Keith too, I'm like, look, don't need to get too technical on it, because here's the reality, guys. I mean, it is exactly what it sounds like. So Google figured this out. They're like, hey, well, wait a second, 72% or whatever of our searches are coming from mobile. So why should we be searching mobile first? And that's what they're doing. So if you don't have a website, if you don't have a mobile website, then it means that you're not as easily found now as you were a year ago, or a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago. So it really does come down to just that. And they didn't say it in so many words, but they sure inferred it, that with their algorithm, basically if you have a mobile site and you are against somebody without a mobile site, you're going to come up first. Not just searching on a mobile phone, right? I'm talking about searching overall, because they're indexing those first. That's what it's looking for first. That site's going to get preferential treatment. So no matter what sort of SEO you're doing, or any of the other kind of tricks you guys are selling and all that other kind of stuff, having a mobile site is now it's not just crucial, there's no sense in having a website if you're not going to have a mobile site too. And there's differences in that, and I don't understand them. Keith can probably tell you more about that. I know that, like, well, there's been a lot of sites around that say, yeah, we're mobile friendly. They're not really. They don't have exactly, it doesn't count towards what Google is looking for. So, and if you guys want to, after this, you can go Google it all day long and read about it, but you don't really need to. It's the facts is that. How many businesses do you know that have some sort of mobile app? I would say like 5%. So that means a high majority of websites out there, or of companies out there, they need something. They are missing a big part of this. They're spending a lot of money on their website and a lot of other things, and then they're falling short in this area that you can fix for, you know, $3.99 one time, or $5.99, or whatever you guys sell your mobile apps for. So anyway, with that being said, Keith, I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Copy. I'll just recap this a little bit. Just the main points is mobile indexing is rolling out more broadly. Having a more mobile-friendly content is very helpful. Having a fast-loading content is helpful, and I'm going to show you how PWA blows the doors off of any standard, even a responsive website, especially for that. and those are the many factors. So let's talk about how you can capitalize on mobile first indexing for any business that has a website and it's not responsive, and they're going to have to go to their web service provider and drop another $1,500 to make it responsive. There's a way to tie in PWA, Progressive Web App, or Progressive Website anyway, into even their WordPress site. It's seamless. They work together. It's unbelievably easy for you guys, and there's a lot of tutorials that I'll get through. So let me go through a couple of these right now for you guys and just hit it. So the features here, Progressive Web Apps. You got to think beyond the App Store, where everyone has thought App Store, App Store, App Store. And let me explain. Right? What is a progressive mobile app? So in summary, the best explanation for that is it's they're mobile apps delivered through the web, right? They deliver an app-like experience on your browser. It feels like a native app due to the use of an app shell that provides app-style navigation and gestures. But since they're built on the web, they're not tied to any specific device, meaning that a PWA displays seamlessly and identically on all devices, even including desktop. So a PWA works great on a desktop too, where you show me any native app that you can actually use on a desktop, right? So mobile, tablet, whatever, and whatever comes next, because it's literally, it's a website, it's a URL, right? So they load it.
I have a stupid
Yes,
question.
go ahead.
Sorry. I remember when I said it was going to be the last time I interrupted. This will be the last time. But I feel like this is probably important, and everyone will laugh at me probably for asking this. But I need to. PWA. Well, what's PWA?
Progressive Web App.
Progressive Web App. Okay, I got it. Because I was like, Progressive PMA? No, it's not the same thing. All right, now I follow. Sorry, guys. I know everyone else was probably following. I was kind of scratching my head on that.
So I know we all talk in acronyms and LOL and OMG and PWA, but I'll try to use some words to help.
Some of us are 50 and over.
Yeah, right. So so a Progressive Web App, they literally load instantly, regardless of network quality, right? It's designed, and they're designed to work offline. Like once you load it, the data is cached, and so it will work offline. It is the best of both worlds for as far as a website and an app, because it has the help of pre-caching, right? So it stays up to date, serving all users with the newest content, right? So you don't have to update the app, and then people go, oh, there's an app update, let me update the app, and then you have to create an update that works on all of the different devices, for every different generation of iOS, for every different operating system of Android, because every Android phone seems to have a different. No, that's the beauty of this. When you update this, it is seamless, and it automatically updates on everybody's phone without them having to actually go in and agree to updating it. That's the beauty of a progressive web app. So let me go on to some here. So I wanted to show you guys, there's some great examples here, just to get you the juices flowing and get everyone understanding this. But the Washington Post, right? So the Washington Post, if you go to the Washington Post on a mobile device, it automatically, instead of taking you to what would have been their responsive website, it literally takes you to, and if I click here, it's going to take me right just to their website. But if I were on my mobile device, it would take me to the PWA version of this, and then it would instruct me and ask me in a walkthrough, and I'll show you guys how that works, to save to my home screen. I have now installed a PWA on my phone. It's always up to date. I'm going to get push notifications. It's just phenomenal stuff. So, let me go back to this. And there's many, many, many PWAs that are out there now, and I'll go through some of what they are as we go through. So just to keep things flowing, and I'll go fast, and then we'll take some Q&As, right? It's native app capabilities, but they're built using web technology. the installation is so fast and so easy, right? So they're very discoverable, right? It's easy to discover a web app because a web app is listed just like a website. It's in a Google search, and I'll get into more detail. But they're identified by the search engines. You know, they come up, and when you download it, it literally it's opening a website, and they load extremely fast. And I'm going to show you guys a link that shows a comparison side by side in real time of a PWA versus a native app. But there's zero friction for customers, right? Where here they have to go to the App Store. They have to find the app in the App Store. They have to download it. They have to wait. They have to have it installed. They have to do the permissions, and then they can use it here. You click the URL, and you're using it. Done. It's that fast. It's so fast it'll blow people's mind, which is why, and I'll get to a case study here in a minute that's really cool. The business benefits. So here's the case study, right? So Lancome, that's they sell cosmetics, right? To increase their engagement, right? To increase their engagement, this is what Lancome did, of all people, and it's very, very impressive as to what they decided to do to really push the barriers on this, right? So they considered to do an e-commerce app because they realized that their conversion rate for mobile web was only 15%, right? 38% of shopping carts on the desktop led to orders. So it's pretty dismal. So they're trying to increase that, right? So they considered an e-commerce app as the solution. However, they understood that the app only made sense for customers who visited regularly. Mobile shoppers would not return to an e-commerce app weekly, right? Let alone daily. So they wouldn't see the value in downloading a Lancome app, as it were. So the company wanted to build the right user experience on all of their devices, right? So the company needed a fast-loading, compelling e-mobile experience similar to what they could achieve with a native app, but one that was also discoverable and accessible to everyone via the mobile web. Enter the Progressive Web app. And the results were the following, right? They had an 84% decrease in time until the page is interactive because they load so quickly. A 17% increase in conversions, a 53% increase in mobile sessions on iOS, an 18% open rate on push notifications, and an 8% of consumers who tap on the push notification make a purchase, right? So this made them grow in strides and bounds in the mobile revolution, showing the prowess of a progressive web app. And it goes on, and and I'm going to hit a lot of other companies that you may or may not be familiar with, that if you go to their site, it's already a progressive web app, and one of them will probably really shock you. So the business benefits, right? They're easy to find because they become part of the SEO. There's no downloading. They literally open, and it literally just says save to home screen, and it saves, and it's an icon just like an app, and it's done. And like I said, it's always up to date. There's no update the app. There's none of that. It's just perfect. Self-publishing, right? So you don't have to follow any of Apple's rules and guidelines. And I'll go through a couple things that they did. So about a year ago, they put a moratorium on publishing native apps, templated apps, which is, our system is a templated system. It's easy to build an app for you guys. They said no more. Can't do those anymore. If a business wants an app, they have to have it built from the ground up, which could cost thousands of dollars for a business. And for a mom and pop sandwich shop, or a mom and pop pizza place, or a mom and pop florist, or a coffee shop, they don't have that kind of money to spend to build an app from the ground up. Yet that's what Apple said. They said, sorry, that's it, no more apps. Literally a year ago. No more publishing. Now that really put a surge into progressive web apps to replace that, and they're kind of having to play catch up now. And for their new operating system, PWAs are working great because they realized that they hurt themselves when they did that. They lifted the moratorium in February of this year with some caveats, and the caveats are, yeah, you can build this app and you can publish it in the App Store or the iOS store. What you have to do, though, is there is a big fee to do it, and it has to be published under that particular business's Apple developer license. Meaning, Bob and Martha's vineyard, whatever, florist, have to now go to Apple, get a developer license, and you have to publish the app that you built for them under their developer license. So it's just Apple's making more money off of them versus beforehand, over a year ago, I could publish multiple apps under my developer license. But now they allow one app per developer license. However, there are very, very few features, and I'm talking about a handful, like 4 features that you really don't even need, that would require the app to be native, where you would need to publish it. Outside of that, you absolutely positively don't need an app in an app store any longer, because a progressive web app does absolutely everything, and you are free from all of the regulations, the licensing and the fees. Android's pretty simple, and they don't charge a whole lot to get it in the store anyways. But still, there's a lot of formatting because there's different devices and different operating systems, ice cream and sandwich and blah, 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 blah. The PWA is so killer, right? So it's great app technology. It's all the same capabilities as a native app. You're not going to really be lacking in anything. And I'll talk about the very few features that you'll be lacking, and you'll realize that, well, those are pretty insignificant. I don't really need those anyways, right? So it's frictionless, as I said. Literally, people can get this just as fast as they load a website, and PWAs load oftentimes faster than some overdeveloped website that people do. It's incredibly easy, right? You can publish it. You receive an email or URL. You can read a redirection script. It's easy to get people to get this. Here's an example of them getting it via text, SMS. You can text it out. Hey, we got a new app. Here it is. They click it, and literally it opens immediately, and it asks them just save to home screen, and that's all they do. And now they got the app done, right? They can launch it from a QR code, so you can put it on tabletops, which I have a case study that you guys will see posted later, where we have it posted on tabletops with a QR code, and they scan it. It just opens the URL, and boom, it just says save to home screen. It's so simple to get progressive web apps on phones and then have them just start working. Through a third-party profile. You can put them on Facebook pages, and you can put them in Twitter. You can put them in Instagram. You can put them anywhere, and people just launch it. It's done. It's the ease, and it's frictionless. It's awesome, right? So let's say someone does a search like for top nails. Well, boom, the website that it just launches to the PWA, and you can even choose for that PWA to launch into a specific feature. So let's say, for example, and I'll show you, there's a way to overcome this if you want, but you can force people to have to put profile information before they can access the app. But if you don't want to do that, you can have it launch into the specific feature of collecting profile information. Hey, give us your name, give us your phone number, give us your email. Or maybe launch it right into a coupon, or launch it right into a review, right? It works great with iReview Builder because you can build that right into a PWA so that someone's been there, they've had a sandwich, man, that was a great sandwich, hey, get our PWA, they click it. Well, that QR code launches the PWA, but immediately launches what would be the website feature, which links to the portal for them to leave the Google review with iReview Builder. Bam, hey, how was your experience here today? Put in your name, put in your phone number, email. I mean, it'll be an awesome experience for them. There's so many ways to implement this and have it be very, very effective and very cohesive with all of the products across the spectrum of things that we have in our arsenal. Launch from a Google search, like I said, because some companies right now, they don't even have a website, right? They got a Google presence because they have an address and someone uses a Google Maps, but you'll see, and I can show of a business that doesn't have a website, and they're the perfect customer for me to go to tomorrow and say, hey, I noticed you don't have a website. I noticed that you're like number 16 on the list when I look for a sandwich shop. Let me help you with that. And I'll show you that in a second. In fact, maybe I'll just show it to you now. Hold on. I'm going to go to it right now and show it to you if I can. Let's see. I was doing it the other day. Okay, here we go. So let me show you. So Big Jim's, $3.95 grill. I just wanted to make sure that my page is showing. Yeah, okay. So Big Jim's, $3.95 grill, right? You have directions and you have a save, but he has no website, right? And I scroll, right? He's way down at the bottom. I got, you know, Submarina, California subs and Vista. I got, of course, Subway, Jersey Mike's, Panera. Those are the big boys, right? They all got websites, right? But this guy, you know, he's way, 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 way down in the list, right? He's only got 33 reviews. Well, that's probably friends, family, and that's it. So he's a great candidate A for iReview Builder. Hey, you only got 33 reviews. Why not 330 reviews? Why not 3,000? Are you telling me that you only have 33 customers? I know you have more than 33 regulars. You have at least 100 regulars, if not more than like 300 customers that come through your door every month, right? And they'll be like, yeah, I at least, you know, I mean, I can't imagine you're doing business with only 33 people a month. That's impossible. Yeah, oh, yeah. I have a couple hundred that come through my door every month. Great. Why aren't they, and why haven't they left you a review? Boom. You're launching right into iReview Builder. Hey, we got to build your, you know, I got a great Google reputation management system for you. But on top of that, and let me add into it, you know, we need to create a great SEO for you, you know, your search engine optimization with a progressive website. And it's very simple. I'll build it for you. I'll charge you a one-time fee. How about that? You don't even have to keep maintenance. It's going to be real simple. And then you can always upsell them to, hey, would you like a loyalty program? Would you like to have ordering on it so that people can order from the app? You can upsell. But you can say, hey, I'll build you real simple so that you really get a good presence and you have a website presence. You know, $3.99, $500. One-time fee, done deal. This is a great way to go out and earn some, you know, a quick bit of cash to, you know, go buy some gifts for friends or just pay for a night out with whoever you want to go out with. You know, hey, I'd like to go out for the night or go spend a weekend doing something fun. Let me go make an extra $500 for the day, pitch him, and I'll show you how you can literally build that for him in less than 30 minutes. You just made the $500 to go out that weekend and have some fun. But it's a great example of how you can, and you can tie it all in, right? So let me get back into to my presentation here before I get off track, right? So I talked about, you know, you can launch from Google, right? So they do a Google search, coffee near me, the coffee pot pops up. I go, okay, I'm going to click on that one. That looks pretty good. It's close to me. Boom, coffee pot. Okay, there they are. I click on the website, and boom, guess what? It launches me, the PWA. And I'm automatically in there. Contact us, location, order online, and it's the app. And it works and functions, but it was that fast. And then it'll also give me a little prompt that'll pop up that'll say, hey, save to your home screen. Okay, sure, I'm going to be a regular. And you can add to and have, you know, a loyalty program. It's the future of mobile because it's so simple, it's so easy, it's seamless, and you don't have to do all this time doing all of these updates. So let me show you a little bit about how it looks for you guys, because I know that everyone's going, okay, well, how does it actually look? So let me go and I'll show you exactly an app that I was working on. Here we go. So this is one that I'm working on for my local city of Vista. I thought, hey, the city of Vista could use an app. Let me go through and build one. So our dashboard is really simple, right? We have the master dashboard, which will show you some analytics and some different things as I've been doing some testing and some having fun with it. You know, there's no customers right now, but you know, if you had, you'll show all of your users. It'll show sessions. Just something I started working on most recently. You go into design, right, and that's going to allow you to set quick formats of what you think. And as you create it, it will give you a live version of what it's going to look like. So you can do a slide out menu, a grid menu, the scrolling menu, the bar menu. See, this is the scrolling menu. See how it scrolls? That's kind of cool. Now, scrolling menu works really well if you want it to also double as their actual website if they don't have a website, because it fills more of the screen. It looks cool. But you could also go to, the slide out menu. And then if I hit save, it automatically will reformat it to a slide out menu as we go through this, right? And you can change, obviously I need to change probably the background colors so it's a little more visible. I can show that it says, hey, menu, but you click there and there's all the things that I'm building. I'm trying to create something really dynamic and cool, and each thing that you go through, here's where you change your background color. You can put in your branding and the home screen and carousel of images and tons of more options. Basically, it's all click and go, right? You can talk about how you want it to navigate, what you want the text color and the icon color to be, global styling, right? This is where I want the text color. Maybe the white isn't working, so I could change that. So I could go maybe more vibrant, like let's say I go with the red that's there. Okay, whoop, let me go red. All right, let's say okay, I'll save it. It'll update. All right, and then it should be on some of my other, I gotta find out where my UI bar, oh, it's my UI bar text colors. Anyways, you guys get it. It's very fast and easy to change all of these colors or format it and make it look any way that you want to your heart's content, and to go into settings. And I'll show you, see, this is where I changed that color immediately. Now it says it looks more dynamic with the blue. In building it, this is where you can select all the features that you want after you've set the initial format. That's super, super simple. Really, it's cut and paste. So, and you can change the order instantly. So like maybe I want activities. I don't want activities to be the first thing. I want it to be maybe the third thing. I just switch it. It automatically changes. And this is live. That's why people don't have to update their apps. If you change it, the next time they open the app, it's automatically updated. I can add features. There's a massive amount of features, and we have a full breakdown of what each feature is and how it works and how to do them all. But I mean, you can see that, there's Call Us, it tells you what it does, and Car Finder. Because like Car Finder, that's, for example, that's a feature that requires it to be a native app published in the iOS store or the Android store. For obvious reasons, it has to have access to the phone's location and storage. So therefore, it can't just be giving you information off the server. It has to be on the phone, accessing phone data to do a car finder. That would be one of the things. But you can create forms, directions, an email photo, events, and there's all kinds of cool stuff. And your image gallery for people to do like a photo wall for the business. You can create mailing lists. You can do merchandise, a menu if they want to order. And there's a great app that I can tell you about that's part of our system. It's called Skipper. So any business can load Skipper onto their phone, and then if they have menu and people want to make an order, it automatically will give them a notification on their tablet or phone that an order has just come in from Joe Schmo for a meatball sub. Boom, okay, make the order. They can even pay for it, and then they just come in and pick it up. That could replace Grubhub for a lot of people, where they spend a ton of money on Grubhub in what Grubhub takes as their share. This is a way for someone to create online ordering for their business and be it very, very effective overnight, like a drive-up coffee shop. Now, everyone wants to compete with Starbucks. Like Starbucks has, use your mobile to order, and then it's already ready for you. I could go to Joe and Martha's coffee stand, say I can do exactly what Starbucks is doing for you right now. I'll charge you $300, build it, and done. And if you ever want to make a revision, let me know. I'll charge you $99 per revision. Or you can pay me $100 a month for hosting, support, and maintenance. I mean, you can really run the gamut in how you want to price this thing out. You got news, music. Music is another one that has to be a native app because it has to download, obviously, music onto the phone to keep it accessible always. So that has to be a native app. But just a massive amount of features, over 40 features that you can add into the system. You build them, you save it, it's automatically there. Then you can publish it. And in publishing, very simple, that's where you create the icon for the phone. You can create a backsplash. You determine here whether if it's going to be iOS, and you're going to see there's all kinds of extra information that you have to give. If it's not iOS, if you're just going to publish it as a web app, very little information. And you can just make a CNAME for any business that already has a website domain in order to publish it. Very simple. And then you put in all the SEOs so that they know when it's being searched for, so that it pops up, oh, I'm looking for sandwiches, or I'm looking for roses, or whatever it is. Managing. So you get app analytics, customers. And one thing I can show you up here, I didn't put on this one, but when you're going into building the app, there's really cool features that you can add to this app. One of them is what we call the walkthrough. So the walkthrough, if you enable walkthrough, that means that when they launch it for the first time, I'll turn it on, then it automatically then will walk them through how to turn everything on. So if I save this and enable it, right, go to native preview, it's going to walk me through, okay, oh, save this to home screen, allow this, allow that. So you get all of these really cool features that can walk you through everything, right? So it says, welcome. Oh, okay, let's get started. All right, so I click get started, and then it'll move on. It'll be like, oh, be in the know. Let's go. Okay, do I want to allow push notifications? Sure, I'll allow push notifications. Oh, my location. Sure, I'm going to let you know my location. I say okay. It continues to go through, and then it opens up. So now that's the walkthrough. So if you enable walkthrough, which I highly recommend, that is what you're going to do for your customers. Otherwise, you have to make sure that the staff is very educated and tells people, hey, when you load this thing, you're going to have to make sure that you select Save to Home Screen. Now, on the majority of Android devices, when you launch it, because it's very Chrome friendly, and most Androids use Chrome and or the Samsung internet, it's going to say, hey, save to your home screen. If they're using Safari, I believe on the latest update for Safari, it now asks that, because they've realized that they have to accommodate progressive web apps now. So that helps that. And then again, you can turn it off. And then you can also create sign up. And that is really cool if you want to have groups. And I'll show you an example of that later on in a minute. But if you want people to, if you want to know who's using your app, who's visiting you, if you turn this on, you can turn it on. Now you can select skip if you want people to be allowed to skip the login. You can allow that. You edit, right? So I can say, okay, skip sign up if I want them to be able to skip it. But if I don't, then I turn it off. And they have to sign up with Facebook, Twitter, or Google. I can also make them sign up with email is the other option. Right here, it'll ask that as well. So you have these options that you can do to make this either a data collection service, which would be really great for a business, because now they create this great database of customers, which allows them to single out a customer to send a push notification and or send a push notification to all of them. And then they can also download that file, upload that as a CSV. They can link it actually. You can, if they have a MailChimp or a Constant Contact, which most businesses do, they can actually, it'll link to it, and I can show you where that happens, so that whenever someone joins or logs into the app and uses their profile, they can then seamlessly upload that information straight to their MailChimp account, and now it becomes part of their email campaigns. So you can do amazing things with this, right? In managing that, you got your, this is where the customers would be. I'm going to leave. I didn't save it. So it always reminds you if you need to save or do something. But this would list customers. I don't have any. I was just building this as an idea, right? But if I clicked on a customer, it would bring them up. I could say send them a message. I can make them a favorite. I could export the data, right? Really, really cool stuff. If how many push notifications I've sent, or if I want to send a push notification, transactions, it can track who's buying things. If you set up the merchant app, it'll tell you who's your biggest shoppers, so that you can go, wow, hey man, Keith buys a lot of stuff from us. That's pretty cool, right? Growing the profile, we have this great promotional system that's built in for any business. So when you go here, we have a promotional kit. So you go to manage, it'll allow you to create it. So it creates a nice banner, desktop, or poster. You can edit this, right? You can go through, and if I click edit, I can decide, okay, is this going to be a web app? Is it going to be a native app? And then it automatically says, look for us in Google and the Apple Store. I can put in different information. I can edit this whole thing. And when I go to download it, it automatically downloads all the files to automatically make a poster, a table tent, and a table card. So that's the ease of the system, and then you click save, and you're done. So I hope you understand. This is a very seamless, easy to use app building system that I think anybody, you don't have to be real tech savvy in order to build a progressive website or progressive web app for any customer. And I got a lot of tutorial videos that are very simple, and I'm going to be doing weekly training on, okay, how do I build the loyalty function, and how do I make it tiered versus points only? How do I make it geofence location only? The beauty of the loyalty system on this is it also becomes seamless and frictionless for the proprietor of a business and the servers or those that work there, because they never have to touch a phone or a device. They simply can present a QR code on a card that the customer scans, and that gives them their redemption point. Super slick. I'm going to show you a demo of an app that I put in earlier that uses something very similar to that. So let me go back now to my slide presentation. And here we are. Right. So progressive web app, it's being applied across industries, including entertainment, media, retail, and travel. The list just goes on. So Twitter, Lancome, the Home Depot, Virgin America, Fandango, just to name a few, are realizing the power of this. Right? I talked about how automatically create a great promotional kit for every app that you guys make. Here's an example of an app that I have out now for one of my customers that's literally live. If any of you take your mobile phone and scan that QR code, it's going to launch the app. That would be their tabletop that they would put up, or their poster that they would put up, just to give you an example of what that is. So there's the Bare Roots app, great for the brewery. And I have here like a video he did. I have a game that they can play, which is really cool. Shows all their beers. They can order food from Grubhub because they don't have food, but then there's your quick access to Grubhub, and then a lot of more features. Another example of one that I have right now is, and this is kind of my demo that I show you in a video that you guys will see in our sales page, of building an app in less than 30 minutes, which was literally from my kids' school that I went, and that was easy. I think in the end I made $2,500 on that one. It was pretty slick and easy and done, and I'm the parent, and they just say hi. And what you can do is, because you see each app you get has its own username and password. So because it has its own username and password, if you want, you can give access to it. And that's what I did for the IT guy at the school. Is I went, I showed him, okay, here, just like I showed you guys, here's how you build it, here's how you change it, here's how you update the calendar. I let him control it now. So because I gave him login, I made the $2,500 and done. And unless he has some sort of hiccup, or I don't understand how to do this, or what's going on here, I never hear from him. It's awesome. There's another one that I made for a friend of mine who's the GM for this restaurant. And they actually have, I think, 9 locations now that you can look at. It's another great app example. This one, they have several loyalty programs going on. So you present a card with QR symbols for each loyalty program. So you can have they have one loyalty program for beer, one for wine, one for cocktails, one for entrees, and one for appetizers. And it's you get 1 redemption per visit. So you can set time limits. Like someone can't get a redemption more than once every 24 hours. Really slick system, really cool. And just something, by the way, that is part of our service. If there's any of these apps that you guys like, that you're like, man, that's great, but I got to start from scratch with that, I can literally make a duplicate of any of these apps and give it to you and all you have to do is edit the branding. So it's already built for you. So I can duplicate any app that you like so far or that you see, and as we go through training, I'll show you different apps that I've built or can build. And if you like any of them, hey man, could I just get a copy of that to start with? Yep, absolutely. That way it really gives you a lower, it doesn't make the learning curve as steep, and you just change the branding, and literally I've already built the app for you. So like the school app, I already built that one. And if someone wants it almost identical, you just got to change the branding and some of the information, like not a whole lot of work. That's done. And you get a copy like literally within minutes, and you can have it done and all of that. So what could you earn doing this? The cool thing about a Progressive app is that there's no publishing costs. There's no housing costs. There's no nothing. So the industry average rate, as it were, is about $150 a month to pay for maintenance, service, and hosting for an app. So if you were to get, say, 2 customers a month that wanted to pay you $150 a month for maintenance and hosting and service, right? After a year, that'd be about $2,300-$400. And you could charge them as much as $2,500 to build the darn thing. And you could build it in less than an hour, in less than 30 minutes. They don't have to know that. You tell them, yeah, I'll have the app for you next week in 5 business days, 7 business, whatever it is, even though you knock it out that day. Or you can charge them an express fee. Well, you know, it's $2,500. I need, 5 business days to get it done. If you want it expedited, I could do it in 2 days for an additional $500 or $1,000 or whatever, right? So if you charged the industry rate of $2,500 an app to be developed and built, and $150 a month, after a year from now, by next October, by next Halloween season, next autumn, next fall, you could be bringing in $83,400 a month, because you can make and sell as many of these as you want. You can sell them for any price you want, and you're never going to pay us a penny for any extra app you build outside of just the monthly subscription. That's it. You could build 1 million apps and sell them all at $1,000 a piece. That's all your money. We'll never even know what you're charging for them. Not at all. We'll know how many you have because, we're going to provision them for you. But there's a great potential here, to go earn some really quick, easy money. Even on a random day, you'd be like, I could use an extra $50 today. You know what? Hey, I was enjoying my sandwich here. How would you like an app, a loyalty app for your business for $50? For $50? Yep, that's it. One-time fee, done. You can get rid of those cards that you got to punch and people lose, and it's super slick and easy, and no one will ever lose their points, and you can redeem very easy, and I'll have it for you by tomorrow for $50. Oh, sure. And you just made $50. Or, hey, yeah, $500. I mean, the sky's the limit. Go ahead, Mercer, go ahead.
Yeah, this part, guys, too, this is an area where I've got very strong feelings and some kick butt ideas as far as pricing and how to do this thing. And I don't want to get into it too much tonight. Well, it'll be part of our training next week. Keith will be training you all on not only sales, but also how to set stuff up. But I'll be throwing in my 2 cents as far as that marketing part of it, because that's an area that I've done pretty well at. I'm the king at get rich slow. I know we all want to do it fast, but those seem to fail. But imagine this. Imagine selling the app. And again, I don't want to undersell it, and it all depends on the complexity of that you're selling. And the first thing, for those of you who get this, want to start selling it, the very first thing I'm going to tell all of you is to just sell the basic app first. Don't go in and with all the different features and all those other things, because number one, you just sell the app. You can use those other things as a throwaway statement to the person buying it, saying, hey, it can do this, it can do that, it can do this other thing, blah, blah, blah. Let's build you the app. Once you have the app, those other services, I think, is something. So you sell that for a one-time fixed cost. That monthly, I think, is how you're going to sell those other services, like the loyalty program, whatever. And that way, if they get tired of the loyalty program or it's not working, they're not interested in it, they lose interest, whatever. You still got that app, and you've got that annual price that you're going to charge them. And again, it's just all over the place. But you guys, so let's say that you have a bad week. This is you're calling using iReview Builder as your door opener, or maybe even if you're using Leads Inbound, well, then you can target the businesses without a website, whatever. So you have a bad week, and at the end of the week, you think about the 3 or 4 people that you talked to that were fence sitters, that maybe you didn't push hard enough, and you kind of think back, and you're like, should have just pushed harder. You know what you could do? Go ahead and build their app. Call them up, give them the app, and then sell them. You can't, I mean, once they see it and they're playing with it, they're like, oh, I guess I'll take it. How much did you say it was? Look, it's one payment of $3.99. We also have some other features I can talk to you about at a later date. We have a loyalty program. We've got this thing. We've got that thing. We can do a beacon to help download it. It ties in directly with a review building program that we have. I'll explain all that later. But right now, for what you're playing with, and you're seeing this, it's just a one-time payment of $3.99 today. I can send you over a PayPal invoice now. I mean, it's already done. Now, yeah, it's a gamble for you. It's a 30-minute gamble, and maybe less once you get some templates down and you kind of go, all right, well, this is the app I'm going to build for those businesses. But if it's me, if you guys are trying to sell me, that's the way you sell me, for sure. Because I'm going to say, oh, yeah. That sounds like something I want. I would. It definitely sounds great. I want to be part of the development. I want to have some ideas. I want to understand it. Whatever. So, and I'm just going to keep putting it off. And I'm going to say, call me next week. And I'm going to mean it. Not by eventually. But the way you guys get money from me, and I mean business owners like me, the way you get a sale immediately is you build the app, put it in front of me, and it's already done. It's my app. And you're like, hey, here's your app for your business. Now your business has an app. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you guys are business owners. You can kind of appreciate that. It's kind of cool to have your own sort of app. You give it to your friends. You know, it's like, again, there is a little bit of an ego thing. That's not why everyone's going to buy it. But when they're playing with it and they see it, and you sell it for that one-time price. Can everyone on this call get what I'm saying? How many people think that if you had a bad week and you're like, all right, let me go back to the 2 or 3 people that they got it, but they were like, yeah, call me next week. If you invested, say, an hour and a half and you built 3 apps, and you called those guys up and you told them, hey, I just went ahead and I really think you want this, and I think that's going to be really cool for your business. Well, I started building it. I got excited. And, well, you know what? I went ahead and finished it for you. Here it is. Take a look at it. You know, play with it, whatever. Show your friends. I'll touch base with you on Monday. Call him back on Monday. If he doesn't buy it, you're taking it away from him. You're shutting it down. So all the people that got his app, now it's gone. You know, you are taking it away from them. People don't like that. People will work harder to keep something than they will to earn something they never had. Again, that's that really crazy human nature thing. But look, there's all kinds of those sort of psychology sales involved in this. And Keith is going to tell you about a million different things these apps can do. And again, that's all great. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be really excited about that. You're going to spend hours thinking about all this cool stuff. But I want everyone just to also realize that you can get some real quick money, real quick sales, just keeping it simple, sell the basic app, and come back and upsell those other things. Anyway, I know if you guys are anything like me as you're listening to this webinar, I'm sitting here just, my mind's going through ideas and ideas. Like, wait a second, I could do this. By the way, guys, and I sent this as a message to everyone, but you know, I'm not crazy about QR codes or short codes, as you guys all know. I always complain about it. But you know, it must be working because some people are doing it. But anyway, even if you're not, guys, this is the perfect. Oops, sorry, just knocked over my water. This is the perfect time with iReview Builder, because if they have iReview Builder, imagine this. So they fill out their feedback, they give it 5 stars, and then they get an immediate text back that says, Thank you for your positive feedback. Please click here to create a shortcut. They click there, it downloads the app. I just don't think we want to use the word download. We'll have to come up with some better terminology. It downloads that on the user's home screen. As a business owner, is that a benefit? Are you pretty excited about that? Yeah. Here's another one. Guys, just a real simple beacon. We don't need to get crazy with the beacon. Just a beacon in the store, and maybe on the desktop tents and so forth, instead of having the QR code, or might as well include it as well. There's no sense of not including it. But in addition to that, it's something that just says, please look at your phone. Look for this notification on your phone and click. Something like that. Because, right? I mean, everyone, if they have the beacon when they walk in the store, that's the only problems with some of those beacons, as you guys know, is that, yeah, a lot of people get those notifications, but unless they're trained, they don't know to look at their phone. Well, if you're going to have the tabletop tents, include that. See, I think if it's my business, if I'm a restaurant, that's what would make it work for me. Anyway, guys, Keith, I'm going to try to shut up. I'm having such a hard time doing it.
It's cool. It's great stuff. So while you're doing that, what I was showing them was this app right here. And this is what it looks like on a website. This is what a PWA looks like on a website. This one has a sign-in. So as a guest, I only had access to 2 of the features. But what Mercer was talking about here, this app right here that I built, it says Indian Joe here. But when I go up here, it actually said City of Vista. This is an app that I use when I go, because I live in an area that's known and called the Hop Highway. I have 40 microbreweries within a 10-mile radius of me. So my objective is to go to each one, and when I get there, all I do is I change the logo, right? The feature icon, right? I go through and I just change the main icon when I'm up here in design. And then I show it to them right on my phone, because I have this app on my phone. And so they see it as a functioning app on my phone, and it has their logo on it, and it blows their mind. It literally blows their mind. And all I have to do is I take this app, right? And they're like, oh, that's great. So then what I would do is when I get the customer, I duplicate this app to their liking. That way I keep my generic one that says City of Vista here, right, that I want to keep going out and selling. So I walk into a business, and when I'm just hanging out there, I'll be like, okay, branding, right? I'll go in here. I'm going to choose a different image, and I already downloaded all the breweries in my area. So I'm like, okay, well, what brewery am I going to today? Oh, I'm going to go to Wild Barrel today. Oops, wrong thing. I hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to go to Wild Barrel. I'm going to select it, right? It's going to put it right on there. I can play with it. I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty good, right? I'm going to save it. I'm going to hit save. And now literally on my phone, it's already updated. So now I'm there. I'm saying, hey, you got a great business. Hey, check this out. And I show them right on my phone, how cool would this be? And they see their logo. They see that. I go on tap. We can list all your beers. You can have a loyalty program if you want, that you reward your customers. We can list your events. You can see what else is near. It blows their mind, because it's already branded right to them. So you can literally build one single PWA for a specific industry, your niche, and just have all of their logos loaded and ready to go, and just swap out the logo as you go door to door and go to each one. I'm a door-to-door guy. To me, there's nothing like the face-to-face. Cold calling is great.
Me too.
But in the end, I don't buy from people on the phone that often, unless it's like a killer salesman like myself. But when I go in there, and like I told you guys, I've told other people this before, my technique is very different than most, but it's very effective. I apologize, guys. I'm getting over a bad cold.
Here, I'll let you off, by the way. Guys, what Keith is saying, I'm the same way, like as far as selling in person. The downside of it is look, you can't, how many people can you see in a day? But back in the day, whenever I absolutely, positively had to have a sale, was I got in my car and went to them, and I went and got them. Because I just had that attitude. I'm like, no, I have to have X amount of dollars this week. I have this bill, or whatever it was, and I just wouldn't leave. I was a good salesperson. I knew I had the product that they needed. And when you're in front of people, people will give you more time, which means they listen more. On the phone, it's easier for them to be distracted and to blow you off. The trick to that is you keep them on the phone, you ask them questions. It's a different skill set you need to learn to sell on the phone. But anyway, this is a great point. Like, if you absolutely positively need sales, dude, what Keith is talking about doing right here, I love this, because this is using psychology. You're going to walk in and go, hey, I've already have this custom app for you. You know, it's X amount of dollars, or I can just delete it. Yeah. I like the idea too, of, especially if it's somebody you're talking to, and I'll wait till a Friday, whoever you didn't sell, and give them the app for the weekend. Hey, I went ahead and we talked on Wednesday, and I thought about it after we talked. I went ahead and invested the time, and I built you an app. Obviously, you may want to customize some stuff, but here, and why don't you take a look at it and think about the things that you would want to add. Don't worry about buying it or anything. Just, you know, show your employees, show your friends, whatever. Then call that guy back on Monday and see if you didn't just sell it. I'm telling you, you did, in a high percentage of the time. People don't want to. You don't want to take it away from them. It's like handing somebody business cards. They're handing them out and then saying, "Oh, yeah, by the way, now they're all going to disappear." You know? I like it. I love it.
I mean, when it's built, I mean, it's the old, you know, field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. But in my experience, if you build it, they will buy. It's already built. Here you go. How much? $500. Oh, it's a little steep. Oh, okay, I'll cut you a deal. You know, or you know, you work it out. You figure it out. It's done. And like I said, you can build one app, spend your time learning on one app and build it out, and then just go, okay, that's a great app. I've learned how to build every feature, blah, 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 blah. And then literally in our system, you just say duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. So now you just duplicate it for each new client, change the branding, do some of the edits they want, and done. I mean, you've cut down your work time almost to zero, and it's all just profit, because time is money to me. And so if you can cut down your time, you're literally 100% profit. So talking about profit, talking about cost, talking about what you can earn, obviously I have to get into the nitty-gritty of what is the thing actually going to cost you guys, right? So here's how we've broken this down, and I can let Mercer talk a little bit more about this. He's good at this, but I think we came up with some good pricing for you guys, a great deal for you guys, and you have the link, and I guess I could post the link for everybody, as well as did we post the link for some of the collateral I wanted to give them, just to give them a big bump?
No, I didn't, but I will.
Yeah, I got some cool, and I got lots of collateral for you guys that is all white label for you guys to really get the ball rolling. As far as, I mean, I got sales presentations, I got presentations and videos on how to sell and who's the customer and how to turn someone into a customer, and I got all kinds of stuff that you guys get tons of access to. This is something that is basically a flyer for like the top industries that breaks it down to say, hey, you're a barbershop? Boom, check this out. Wouldn't you love to have an app and look at these key features that you could have? Oh, yeah. Like, you could pick one of these industries that's in this flyer kit, build an app that has those key features, and then like I did, go and just change the logo. As you walk in, hey, just change the logo. Hey, check this out. Oh, wow, that's on your phone? That's an app? I don't have an app. Well, I have that's me. I built it. That's why it's your logo. Check this out. Check out these features, right? Really cool stuff. So, you know, I've been working with Mercer. Mercer and I have, like he said, a nice synergy, a good thing going. So this partnership, what we're giving out now, pretty cool for you guys for ApperSnap, right? Normally, I put this out to people that want to join me at, you know, $297 to sign up, because you can make so much money with this, and $77 a month. If you guys want, you can do $149, and that covers you until January to, go out and give it a great test run for the next few months and see how much extra Christmas money you can make, or Hanukkah money, or Kwanzaa money, or whatever holiday, Christmas, whatever winter money you want to make, right? Until the end of the year. And then at the end of the year, $49 a month to keep going, maintain all of your accounts. Option 2, right, would just be $99 today and $49 a month, and get it going.
You guys, yeah. And you guys, look, I don't know how many of you have looked for other things, probably a bunch of you, especially since we've been talking about it. I know that, I'm not, the smartest guy in the world. I think everyone else saw exactly what I saw. We went, well, wait a second, we need an app program, because it not only does it work with what we're talking about here, it works with leads inbound, for those of you who have that. For those of you who are selling iDirect Note, you get the natural tie-in with that. Again, this is just sort of what I like about this is, and I'm a little bit jealous because I wish that I actually, owned a product like this. I tend to build products that need to be sold. They're solutions to things that business owners need. They actually need. This is finally a sexy product. Remember how I'm always saying, like, hey, iReview Builder, building reviews is not sexy. It needs to be sold. People buy what they want. They need to be sold what they need. This is one of those times when people will buy it because, oh, wow, this looks cool. No matter, look, the SEO, yeah, that's all important. And of course, you can sell that to people and you can explain that to them. It's very important. And I would keep it simple. I wouldn't even get into the weeds on that. It's just, look, Google made this change for obvious reasons. So now, I mean, almost more important than your website is having some sort of mobile app. And by the way, mobile app is what you want ultimately anyway. You want something very basic that's going to give the highlights of what you're doing. So that is the way I would sell it. If anything, the only thing I'm concerned with is I know some of you guys, I know a lot of you guys, you're going to buy this and you're going to jump in and then you're going to go out and sell it with, you're going to say, it does this and it does that, it does this thing and it does that. And you're going to sell your way right out of the sale. So that's the thing we're going to talk about in the sales training is, yeah, it does a whole bunch of cool stuff. Yes, but let's get the sale and then use that other stuff to upsell. It'll basically do whatever you want it to do. If your clients say, can I do this? The answer is yes. You can always come to us, and if it ends up being no, well, then you go back. And it's sometimes it's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. Is that how that saying goes, guys? I don't know. I might have gotten that one wrong. Anyway, look, for those of you who have been looking around like I have, and I asked a bunch of you.
I like to keep it literally at 6 features. The top 6 features, yeah. And it's kind of listed in those flyers, just really simple. Top 6 features, that's it. Yeah, I got over 40 more features, but let's do this. I can let you know what the others are, and we'll build from there if you want.
That's how I would sell that monthly recurring, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Unless Keith explains a reason not to, like, and again, not on this call, Keith, but when we're on the sales call.
Sure.
But when I see this as if I'm a business owner, I want to know, like, okay, I'm buying it for X amount today, and how much is it annually? That's great. Like, if it's $3.99 today and then it's $1.99 annual, I can live with that. I know what that is. I'm the monthly, and then you come back to them in 2 weeks or a month or whatever. Now you're talking about all the different things that you could do. You've already got the sales. Now the guy, you built the client. You did exactly what we're talking about all the time in iReview Builder. It's not about how much money you make up front, which I know that's counterintuitive. It's really about getting a client. Because if you have a client, if you earned the client, that's how you make big money. You keep the client forever. You sell them things like this. Then you're going to sell them SEO. Then you're going to sell them some kind of Facebook marketing. Guy wants to dip his toe into Facebook marketing. You provide that for him. Now, he doesn't have any videos online. Oh, well, you've definitely got to get him a video to show some reviews, so you sell him that. You're going to be able to go back to the well a whole bunch of times, or you hit the guy up front with a whole bunch of money up front, and then you're selling him all kinds of stuff, and he doesn't even have time to know what's working, what doesn't, before he cancels. So again, make sure that they know what they're buying, keep it affordable. I love the idea of this, and again, I've got a strong feeling about those loyalty programs because so many of us sold those in the past, and when you say loyalty program to some businesses, it's going to freak them out. They're going to go, oh, we tried that. So again, if you just pull that out of it, they still want the app. It's a throwaway statement. You can say, by the way, I know if you're a restaurant, you've probably looked into loyalty programs. I don't know about you, but up until they were done this way, they never worked. This is what makes them work. But I'll tell you about that in the future. Let's get this app for you. This is your first step, right? So we're going to kind of chunk down the sales, but we don't need to talk too much about sales tonight. But as far as the pricing, guys, seriously, so many of you guys came to me and said, hey, I've got a guy who owns a company, and then I got on the phone and I looked at their product, by the way, and a lot of them were complicated. That was almost like dead in the water immediately. But even if they were, I was still talking to them about price, and I think the next lowest price I got was $89 per month. And that guy was like, thought he was giving me the deal of a lifetime because he sells it for $149. Now, why does he sell it for $149? It does exactly what ours does. If anything, ours does, I think it's better, not only because it's easier, but you've got more hands-on training. Keith is by far the best trainer I've ever talked to or worked with. Not only is he a great salesperson, but he's patient. And he's he's that right combination of being able to share with you his personal experience, but also not be jaded and tell you guys, this is the way you should do it, because this is how I do it. You know what I mean? And so anyway, he's going to be able to work with you guys with the training. But guys, the price, again, this is crazy, crazy, crazy low. And you guys, if anyone's looked at it out there, you see what I'm talking about. The reason I really negotiated hard on that 149, sorry, Keith, was the reason I want to do hard on that 149, guys, is because I want you guys to have an excuse to work in that second week in November and all in December and actually make money. There just isn't a lot of things that are an impulse buy in what we do. We just don't sell a lot of that kind of stuff. We're selling solutions. We're selling things, that solve problems. But something that looks cool, that actually can be an impulse buy, there's just not a lot of opportunity for those. Now we have one. So I wanted to figure out a way that we could do it at the craziest, lowest price possible. And then the only way we were able to do this, guys, is because, I'm working with Keith on something else. Otherwise, it would be impossible. There's no way that we could do a deal, give you $149 so that no payment till January. Because if you're not figuring it out by January or whatever, well then, you'll know by then. This gives you time to figure it out. But more important, for those of you who are working, who are already out there talking to businesses, and you see like, this is a great fit. Well, you're the guy that's going to make the extra $5 or $10 grand in December for a change, rather than pushing everything over to January, like what happens to most of us. So the price is ridiculously low. $99 setup, then $49 a month. Again, guys, $49 is like, it's half what the next guy said. The other issue with the other ones I looked at is they had a million trillion little BS features that they, again, and then the reason they do it, guys, is because they want you to get so confused in their product that you just keep paying for it forever, because it takes you 6 months to learn all those features. I don't like that. Strip those things away, because none of those matter anyway. What you're selling is an app. And yes, features for the app, but I'm talking about these other guys have all kinds of weird digital cards and all that other stuff, and I'm sure there's a place for some of that, but not all in one product. It's like you go to McDonald's for a hamburger. You don't want to go there and have a spaghetti and also have Chinese food and also have pizza and all those other things. Again, it's just confusing. So I felt the same way. I'm really, really excited about this program. I'm excited about its back office. I'm excited that you guys are going to be able to figure it out as easy as I did. And I'm excited that you guys are going to be able to make some sales like I just made. One of my clients, it's a closed client, and I will give you that, okay? But this guy is skeptical. He's not a guy that I can just call up and he'll just buy whatever I tell him. It doesn't work that way, all right? He's got a $260 million a year company. The guy, he did that because he's smart. But I was able to sell him the app by just showing it to them. Basically, exactly what we talked about tonight. Price didn't come up. I built the app after I played with the program for a very, very short time. Showed it to him. He goes, "Hey, this is great. Because you should do this for all of our locations." Now, a lot of them are franchise, so I had to call the franchise owners. And I got 122 of them out there. $97 annually. Yeah, I sold it too cheap. I get it. But this is a close client. And there's some customization they're going to want to do to it later that we didn't have in there now. But at any rate, so it wasn't a hard sale. And it was through a guy who looks at things, who's skeptical. He probably, after I showed it to him, and he probably went and compared it to like 5 other ones. So that should kind of tell you that. So I'm excited about it just from my personal business. You guys know how many clients I have, so I'm really excited. It's not going to work for all of them because some of them do have the mobile app, and I'm not going to mess with them, but there's a lot of other guys that don't, especially these smaller companies that have the 12 locations or 10 locations or whatever. They don't have this solution yet. So this is a slam dunk sale for me. So guys, I'm excited that we have this for you. And if you guys are ready to get started, and I'm sure Keith has a little bit more to share with you, but all you need to do is go to get.appersnap.com, get.appersnap.com. Now, as far as weekly sales trainings, yeah, we're going to have it for this too. I know we're going to have to sort of maximize our time as far as webinars go. There's some products we have that require a weekly webinar, I think. This is going to be one of them, definitely for the rest of this year. So we want to, we may miss a week, and we won't be for the next 3 or 4 weeks. There's a lot of stuff we want to be able to share with you as far as that weekly sales training. So, and also in those sales trainings, somebody asked a question earlier, are we going to talk about leads inbound during those calls? Yeah, kind of a little bit. I know there'll be people that don't have it, but they're sort of a natural tie-in, and we will be covering that stuff on the leads inbound sales training webinars, which we will be having one next week for those of you who have leads inbound. Anyway, guys, there's a lot of synergy. There's a lot of everything fits. It all kind of flows together. This is a way that now that with the product that you have that can generate some inbound leads, in addition to just selling to My Review Builder, which obviously I hope that you guys always use that as your main product. Look, there is going to be times where this might be the better lead-in. I don't know. If I'm going to be honest, I would tell you that the person who turns you away for everything else, man, it's hard to turn away when you're looking and playing with the app, especially if you don't like sweat them for selling it. You sort of, you tell them the price, you give it to them and say, well, I'll call you on Monday. And then maybe you don't even call them on Monday, call them on Tuesday. Let them take ownership. How many of you out there have gone to a car lot and the sales guy gave you the car for the weekend? You haven't bought it yet, you're thinking about it. And he gave it to you for the weekend. How many? A lot, right? How many of you guys did not buy that car? Very few. Right? There's a means to the madness there. People, you don't want something taken away from you. Now they own that. So it's the same thing with the app. Build the app for them, they'll want to keep it. And in order to keep it, they got to pay you. Whatever you're selling it for. If it's going to sell it for $5.99, he doesn't want to do $5.99, then you say, hey, we'll do $199 up front. We'll do $199 in 30 days, and we'll do work payments with them. Whatever you need to do, the app is built. It's in their hand. They don't want you to delete it. They have taken ownership of it. Guys, that's just one example. We could literally be on here for 5 more hours just talking about all the different, very simple, very clean, very straightforward sales techniques that we're going to be able to use with this app program. Bottom line is, I'm sure these are things, guys, your brain's already doing the same thing mine is doing. So for those of you who are like, Mercer, shut up, you guys get started. Go to get.appersnap.com, get.appersnap.com. And guys, I am going to hand it over to Keith. I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let Keith finish it up for the night. But those of you who do get it, just look out in your email. We'll be sending you an email for exactly when that webinar is going to be. Next week, you'll get it probably, I would say, Monday. If you don't get it over the weekend, with a link to register for the training webinar and so forth. All right, guys. Keith, it's all yours.
Cool.
By the way, Keith, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. So just, to mention, like, some of the bigger people that have gone to PWA, Forbes, the Weather Channel, Alibaba, they're all PWA. It's crazy. I just want to go through some of the questions or comments. So Jim, he says, I just did the Washington Post on my mobile, instant, and looked very nice. You guys can create that. You can use that as a selling tool. Hey, Washington Post is using it. Why not you? Let me be your facilitator for that. Mike, rather than a menu on a restaurant table, QR code, boom, launches it, and they can order it, and the order will literally appear on a tablet in front of the chef or the cook, and orders are in. You can do so much cool stuff. There's lots of template options. If you look at the handout, each one of those industry flyers, there's actually, when you first provision an app and you go to build the app at the very beginning, and I have training videos on this. If you look at my build an app in 30 minutes or less, or 60 minutes or less, I think I have, and I'll put it up. It's on the sales page. Yeah, I walk through how when you first open to build your app from scratch, it asks you pick an industry, nonprofit, gym, salon, bar, because it kind of already pre-populates what the most common features are for those industries. It's real simple, real easy stuff. You can take payments. Yes, you can take payments. With Stripe, PayPal, you can set up all of that stuff to take payments, depending on what POS system they're running. We're saving the webinar. It's being recorded. We'll show it again. Tracking rate, yes, if you're having a merchant system like I showed you, then yeah, it'll track who your biggest customers are. It shows you who's downloaded the app, what device they've used to download it. You can tie it into beacons, absolutely, because a beacon can broadcast the Eddystone URL of the PWA. How awesome is that?
Offer Monday night, guys. Monday. So.
What was that, Mercer?
Offer ends on Monday. I got a lot of people asking.
Yeah.
Just like we usually do. And again, this isn't my program, so it's not like when I do a deal and people go on Tuesday or Wednesday, hey Mercer, can I still get that price? We won't be able to do it for this one. So if you guys got several days, this should be a no-brainer. For some of you, if you jumped on late, I get it. If you want to watch the replay or whatever. But, there shouldn't be too much to think about. So make sure that you do get it before Monday. But yeah, the offer ends today.
Correct. Yes, you can use a mobile redirect. Darn, I got my time zones mixed up. Just joined the webinar. Ted, don't worry, there's a replay. George, for a client with an existing site that you want to add mobile capability, how will Google rank the domain, assuming you are redirecting to the app? That's a great question. I'll have to find out the exact answer to that. But if they are adding the app as a feature or replacing with like if it's a WordPress site, they can just replace it. And so if they're going to it with a mobile device, it'll automatically just load the PWA versus the desktop site. The other stuff, the link should be in your chat box, Michael, Jeff. The specials till Monday. We talked about that. Mike. One of the cool things is you can integrate this with Facebook and Twitter so that when you send a push notification out to any of the Progressive Web app holders, it also automatically posts to your Facebook and Twitter account. So now instead of having to go, okay, let me post it Facebook, let me post it Twitter, it automatically, you send one post through the ApperSnap account, and it posts to the Facebook and Twitter accounts as well. So you're really hitting two birds with one stone. Option 2, yeah, the 49 starts immediately. Correct.
No,
go ahead.
49 starts in 30 days, guys. It's $99 one time the setup, and then in 30 days you'll build the 49.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
And where can I get iReview Builder? You can get iReview Builder at iReviewBuilder.com, right, Mercer?
Nope.
Nope.
In fact, if you go to iReviewBuilder.com, there's like nothing there. This is so funny that we talk about websites and so forth, and you guys know
So,
we have not online. We just it's not my primary business, or at least it wasn't for the longest time, as you guys know. I'm sales guy just like you guys. I sell that product. That's what I do. But the reseller program has gotten pretty big, and it's just sold word of mouth. But the best way to get the iReview Builder program is probably to email me, and I will still give you one of the deals from the last webinar, because that's the way I am. So to email me direct, and up until recently that was an issue. So I know people are like, yeah, you email him, but he's got an email problem. You can email me direct at Mercer, MERCER, at iReviewBuilder.com. Mercer at iReviewBuilder.com, and here's the one you may want to write down. And if you will CC iReviewBuilder Gwyn, that's iReviewBuilder GWEN at gmail.com. That way my assistant Gwen will get it, and you'll know for sure that the email will be read priority, and we'll get you a link to a past iReview Builder webinar, so you can watch that and hear me blabber on and on about that program too. But we'll get you an offer. So for those of you who don't have iReview Builder for some reason, that's the best way to get it. I don't think we'll have a webinar anytime soon. So yeah, the best way to do it is to email me on that.
excellent. Unless you want to be one of my customers, and then you could go to my Progressive Web App, which is my calling card that I use to get people to sign up for iReview Builder, and you could go to that one. But that doesn't make you a reseller. That just makes you a customer. All right, moving on. Let's see. Moving on. Overload. Will there be a replay? Yes. You're welcome. Thanks to me. Someone said thanks, Keith. What was the link for the extra materials? The link should be in the box there. You guys should see it. Can you build a directory?
I'm jealous of the comments, by the way, you guys, because of all the positive, like, oh, I love this. I mean, I get good ones too on my webinars, but I kind of figured that's what would happen on this program. I think a lot of the people, especially our Review Builder people, kind of see this natural sale. So I'm a little jealous of all the positive comments. Yeah, I'm excited about it too, guys.
Cool stuff. Yeah, Ramon asked if you can build a directory type app. Yeah, that app I was showing you for the Vista City that I was using, I was building a directory there for all of the different things they have in Vista City. So yeah, you can build a directory app. It's pretty cool. What you're going to use is it's kind of like it's one of the features. I'll get into training on that, but yes, you can do that. What is your calling card URL ID? I'd like to see it. All right, I'll put it in here. It's really cool. It's very simple. This is what I give everybody. But TMG, which is the marketing group, this is when I'm not behind a desk, but when I'm actually out marketing, which is all the time. This is my calling card I give out, So TMG, KeithGaitan.com, you'll see, literally if I click the link, you'll see right now, as it pulls up, because we are live, and I like to be live.
By the way, while it's doing that, iReview Builder people, imagine this. So you create an app for your business. You can put whatever else you're selling, but imagine you're going to have a link where they'll click it, and it will open your demo portal.
Right. Exactly. Right. So yeah. So like I put in here just today, just to show you how live it is. I put in the ApperSnap sales page. Here's my reputation management, which is iReview Builder. And I use that as my calling card, and how it works, and maybe, this is how I do it, but it goes straight to the video. It shows them exactly how it works, and that's all right there. So then they go, oh, wow, that's easy to use. I can do that. That's totally rocking. I'm like, hey, yeah, it is. You ready to sign up? Heck, yeah, I am. So that's how it goes. Granted, probably bandwidth is being stretched because I got a lot of apps open or a lot of sites open, and we're running this. So I don't want to
remind me. I've got a better video to link to that.
Yeah, I don't want to bog things down. So let me try to back out of this.
Got a really cool, animated one By the way, I need to use that same guy that built that iDirect Note one to redo a iReview Builder one.
Cool, but I like to
You
show
got-
that and
I'll
tell
get that
people.
done.
Cool. It goes through all the things that I offer, Wi-Fi marketing, my PWA case study, which you guys will see in the sales page, the case study that I did, my customer out here in NoCal, contact me, sir. This is I don't have a website. I only have a PWA for my little marketing company. This is my calling card. This is how I hand it out. And then they have all my info. And then you guys see I have my little scrolling message across, which says progressive web apps starting at $250 and $50 a month. That's for, I believe I said, only 4 features. And then I charge for every feature they add, a monthly VIG of $10. Talk about reputation management, build your social and local reputation now, starting at $97. So yeah, I mean, you could do. This is my deal. So that's what I do, right? I mean, when I'm not behind a desk and I'm not doing all this, and my wife will attest to this, and I've said this before, it kind of drives her crazy because I'm always selling. We'll go out to dinner, we'll be hanging, the kids are running crazy, and I will notice that business has not asked me for any feedback. They haven't asked me who I am. They have no way of thanking me for being a customer and no way of inviting me back. And I bring that to their attention. I'm like, yeah, I'm paying my bill here, but you don't know who I am. They're like, yeah. Yes, go ahead.
All my ex-wives would say the same thing. I press the X part. Maybe that's the old guy telling you, because I am that guy. I'm always selling, and if it works, if they really
always be selling.
It comes natural, and my partner that does a $260 million a year business, he will work just as hard and just as excited when he's selling a review builder to somebody, because it's the being able to solve a problem, and when something works for a business and it makes sense, it's hard not to. You can't help yourself. It's like being a doctor in a room full of sick people. You want to help. You've got a solution. You can fix it.
Yeah, I'm always like, hey, you haven't asked me for any feedback. You haven't asked me to give you a review. You don't know who I am to invite me back or to send me a coupon. None of that. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, do you want me to come back? And then they're always like, well, yeah, we want you to come back. Do you want to thank me for being a customer? Oh, absolutely. I'm like, well, why don't I help facilitate that for you? Here's my products. Because as of right now, yeah, I'm going to leave and you'll never know who your customer was, if I had a great experience or not. And that's the end of it. Done. Right? Isn't the majority of business owners rely on return business? They rely on, even the car industry. Come on. They rely on return business. They want you back every couple of years to buy a car. Yet alone a restaurant, a florist, a coffee shop, a sandwich shop, a tire shop. It doesn't matter who they are. They want return business. And if you bring to their attention as you are their customer, letting them know, hey, I'm your customer, and you don't acknowledge me as your customer, and they'll be like, I don't? No, you don't know who I am. I've never received a coupon from you. I've never received a thank you for being our customer. I've never received a hey, we miss you, come back. Not one time from you. And they'll say, yeah, you're right. We've never done that. And I'm like, okay, now I am your customer and I am your friend. Let me help you. It's like Jerry Maguire. Help me help you. Help me help you. And they'll be like, okay, well, how? I go, look at this great product I have. This is what I do for a living. This is why I'm bringing it to your attention. You need to acknowledge me as a customer. You need to remember me as a customer. You need to invite me back as a customer, and you need to ask me to give you feedback as a customer. Or do you not care about me as a customer? Oh, no, we care about you. We love you. Okay, then. How do you bridge that gap? Well, that's what they'll say. And you'll say, I'm going to build the bridge for you. Here's the bridge. You give them.
I see at least 5 names on here.
Yeah.
And they could all attest to this of that I have referred to people where I'm doing exactly what you're talking about, Keith, and I go in and talk to the business, and I don't call them back to sell them. I usually pass it along to somebody else over at iReview Builder. I'm like, hey, call this guy. I can see at least 5 people on there right now who are going, yeah, that's what Mercer did. And guys, you can do that too. You should be if you're not. You don't want it to get in the way of your night, but it is true. You should be mentioning these things as you're in there if you have the right product. This is the cool part. This is one of those products. iReview Builder is one of those products. iDirect Now, a little more obscure, but again, this is I see how this is going to fit so many different places. I also think, I don't know if you said this, Keith, on the call, but I know you and I were talking about it earlier, and I wrote it down. I can't remember what it means exactly, but the webinar series starts October the 11th. So that's what I have down. I didn't know if that was the training day or if that was when we would start putting up webinars.
Yeah, we'll start next Thursday. I'll do training webinar next Thursday. It starts next Thursday.
By the way, we'll figure out the time, I guess, to send out to everyone, because we do have another one that's it's on Thursdays, but maybe it's been lately like once a month. You guys, everyone that has iDirect Now, a bunch of you guys have that one as well.
I did it.
But anyway, we'll figure that out. I'll email it out to everyone.
So it's pretty early, and then you'll get the replay. But yeah, I'm ready to start training right away for everybody.
What I'll also do too is I'll put that, once I have that date and the link, I'll put it in the back office of iReview Builder. You guys know that little thing that I don't change often enough, but when I do have something I need to let everyone know, I put it up so right when you log in, you'll see that little message. There was one in there for this week that said, hey guys, make sure you're on the webinar on Thursday. That's where I'll let you guys know about the training webinar for this. For those of you who don't have iReview Builder, just be looking in your emails. Now, I will say this, guys, keep in mind that when you sign up for the program, the email that I'm sending this stuff out to is the email that you're using in PayPal. So if that's an email that you're not used to checking, because there's a lot of you guys that have a very specific, weird email that you use just for that, you don't check those accounts, well, you need to check those, or let us know if you need to change those. Although I think when you log in, you'll be putting in your own emails and so forth. But before that, like for the email that I will have to send out the notification for the webinar will be that email. So do make sure you check that account at least for the next several days. For those of you who sign up and you don't get your login information for whatever reason, make sure that you do submit a support ticket. And for now, let's go ahead and either just submit a support ticket through iReview Builder for those of you who are with us. If you're not with iReview Builder, just email support@ireviewbuilder.com, support@ireviewbuilder.com, and just say, hey, I didn't get my login information for Appersnap. It sends out automatically, but there's a small percentage of people that don't get those emails because your email server just blocks any emails from that one that we use. So if that happens, just make sure that you do email support@ireviewbuilder.com, and somebody will get that username and password to you ASAP. Okay. All right, guys. And with that, Keith, I am going to hand it over to you, and then I think we've answered everything.
I've got the majority of the questions, which either tells me that I was really bad or really good at presenting the product. Hopefully
you were really great, Keith. What I'm excited about too is being able to work with you more on helping with some sales training and so forth across the board. Not only the stuff with Appersnap, but also with iReview Builder, and as a lot of the resellers can attest to, the people that have been with us for a long time, that was one of the great benefits, is they could just email me and I could respond. But as iReview Builder got bigger and bigger and bigger, then I just kind of got inundated to just have somebody else who's going to be able to help in those areas, and especially with Appersnap, being able to train on that, somebody who is familiar with iReview Builder, somebody who is using it and selling it, I think that's huge, because you speak our language, And these people, especially my iReview Builder people, they get it, and they like that approach. So again, I'm just excited that it all happened, and that somehow I found you or you found me. However that happened, it was like, talk about kismet. So you guys, I'm excited to be able to bring this to you. Make sure that you do go to get.appersnap.com right now and get the program. Then make sure you look in your email. We'll be sending you your login information. If for some reason you don't get it within, say, 15, 20 minutes, then just submit a support ticket to support@ireviewbuilder.com. Support@ireviewbuilder.com. And to make it a little bit easier, in the subject line, if you would put no ApperSnap login info or whatever, and then in the body of the email, if you will put the email address you want us to send it to, that would be helpful too. So in case it's going to an email account that you never check, or one that has super high security settings because you don't want to get any kind of junk mail or whatever it is. And then once you do get that email from us, make sure that you do whitelist us. All right, guys, and with that, I'll let Keith.
Yeah, I mean, just by the way, when you sign up, if your first app, you want one of the apps that I've shown you and demonstrated to have be your foundation for your first provisioned app, just say in it, please, for the name of the app, say copy of, and the name of the app that you're looking at. And that's what we will provision for you, an exact duplicate of that app in the name. When you provision an app, just make sure you don't use the word test, right? It's got to be an actual name of an app, but saying copy of works just fine. And so if you want a great jumping board or a springboard or whatever you call it, you wanted either my marketing group app, the Swami's app, their Roots app, just say copy of Bare Roots app, copy of Swami's app, copy of Hop Highway app, copy of, and we can automatically just give you a copy of that to start with, and you're up and running. And of course,
yeah, and guys, the way you'll do that too is I would submit that through the support desk. Alan, I assume there's going to be a separate support desk back there that you guys handle anyway. So yeah, there'll be a support desk link, and you can submit those things back there. I just didn't want them to get confused and be like, yeah, I didn't get login, and also tell us up front. If you do that part, then we'll get confused.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't mean to confuse them, but when you get your login, when you add, like, to create an app, you're going to ask to provision an app. Like, you want to request to build an app, and in that request, you can say, I'm requesting a copy of. That's what that means. George,
and by the way, that is a great benefit, guys, because that's basically what I did. And for those of you who you've got a client, you need something now, you want something done right, or you want a good start off place, it's a good way to do it. So, and for those of you scratching your head like, what are they talking about? Don't worry about it. Next Thursday on that training call, that part for sure we're going to be going over in detail, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of clients that they can go sell right now, whether you have 5 or you have 5,000. This is something that they probably do not have, and the closer you are to your client, the easier it is to sell, obviously. But for every single one of them, you guys, this is a slam dunk. Anyway, I keep signing out and then not signing off, but this time I really
we have lots to talk about.
I'm handing over to you.
One question was hosting. We host it, but you create a CNAME, so no one's gonna see, ApperSnap if that's your issue. Like, it's not white labeled, but you're not gonna have to worry about people seeing ApperSnap because we don't retail. Personally, I retail, which is the marketing group, but they're not gonna get access that way. But you can create a CNAME. And that's what I do for all my companies or for all my clients for each app. When you want to publish it, you don't have to publish the app, but publishing is helpful for SEO. And great, last comment is just from Tori, which is, can't wait to get this going. Nice training, Keith and Mercer. So without further ado, I'm going to say good evening and I hope to be seeing or talking to many of you on the next or the first ApperSnap training webinar, and I'll let Mercer give the final closeout.
All right, guys. Again, you guys know what to do. Go to get.appersnap.com. Get.appersnap.com. You're going to have a bunch of questions, I'm sure. Most of that will be answered in your back office with basic stuff. But for everyone else, if you're going to have more advanced questions, just submit a support ticket. You guys, it'll look very familiar. You'll have a support ticket access back there. And then that's what we're going to next week. And I just told this to Tori, actually, because I think this is important. I feel like if I'm the salesperson and I'm the one jumping into this, I want somebody to help me with okay, well, what's the focused sales approach? How do we do this? How are we going to do it? And I'm going to share some of those ideas with you. Obviously, they're just my opinion, my ideas how to do this, but we're going to be talking about that stuff next week of how to get started in a very organized and focused way. Like, well, what's the first thing we should do? How do we go about doing this? Because when you get in there, as you just saw with Keith in that very short period of time, look, you guys are going to want to build a test app. Then you're going to immediately want to start playing with the loyalty program stuff. And then, oh, wait, you're going to also want to do this and do that. And it's going to, for the creative people, you might just play with it and it's fun. But for others of you guys, you're going to not sell it so you feel like you can do every single little thing. And that's what we're going to talk about next week is no, don't do that. Don't worry about it. Build a basic app, and then we'll go from there. Then you add the other features and all that stuff. But like I said, don't worry about that right now. Right now, go ahead, go to get.appersnap.com. Make sure you log in, build your own app to play with. Play with it over the weekend. Kind of get familiar with building a basic app, and hold tight for next Thursday when we help you guys get all revved up and get focused and get out there selling. So guys, thank you for being here tonight. Again, thank you to Keith, and we will see all of you guys next Thursday. Everyone have a good night.
Good.